Hello and welcome to this 20-minute or so prenatal class. We have a special guest, my baby Flint. He is sleeping, so hopefully he stays sleeping. Thank you so much for your grace during this time, and my apologies if he wakes up and we have to cut it short. But hopefully he'll stay sleeping for a little bit. So for this class, this 20-minute class or so, we are going to need a bolster if you have one. I love my body pillow and some blocks. So this is a very restful class. Any trimester can do this class since it's very restorative. The trimester I have been focusing on a little bit more during this time is the third trimester, but you're just preparing yourself for birth. And I can officially say that yoga helped me through my birth. And if you want to know any more about that, or would love to share more about that, or have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out. Yoga and walking was such a game changer for me in my pregnancy. If you have blocks, that's great too. You don't need them, or any props for that matter, but whatever you have is great. We have been reading from the book Peace, Hope and Healing for the Anxious Mama's Heart by Becky Thompson. It's so amazing. I love this book, and I'm just so excited to use this as a resource for you, with you. So go ahead and come onto your pillow. If you want to find your seat, you can, or you can go ahead and lay down. If you are over 20 for 26 weeks, I'm going to invite you not to lay on your back as much. I still was able to bring my knees, so I was still able to lay like this. So if this is comfortable for you, you can go ahead and do that. So just get yourself in a comfortable place. We're just going to move through a few shapes today, nothing too crazy. If you want to take your blocks, if you have them, and bring it on the highest setting, and then on the middle setting, and go ahead and bring your bolster, your pillow right there. And then just go ahead and lay back. That's comfy for you. You can go ahead and find that. With your knees facing the sky, or maybe out long, maybe your palms facing the sky, or one hand on your baby, one hand on your heart. And just see if you can settle in here. Just coming into the presence of God. Finding that natural ebb and flow of your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. You can even do this yoga. I might even add it in the prenatal section, just so you can do yoga with your baby. So maybe setting him or her up in a little area, just allowing them to find rest. And remember, if you have your baby with you today, if he's already here, he or she is already here in the world, it's okay if they cry. You can always pause and come back. Just giving yourself grace and encouraging yourself for making time as a mama, whether pregnant or if your baby's already here, to make that time with yourself and with God. So go ahead and close your eyes with your deep breaths flowing in and out. Hear these words. I'm just going to read it once for right now. Psalm 147, 3-5. He heals the wounds of every shattered heart. He sets his stars in place, calling them by their names. How great is our God! There is absolutely nothing his power can accomplish, and he has infinite understanding of everything. Taking a big breath in and a gentle sigh out. You can choose to stay here on your bolster, just allowing God to heal your heart. Maybe you're having some anxiety as a mama, as a new mama here in this space, or maybe you, this is your first baby and you're a little anxious about what's going to happen. I'm going to invite you just to turn that over to God. Whether it's your first or second or fifth baby, wherever you are, Allow yourself to relax, let go. Choosing to stay here, especially if you're in the third trimester and you just want to find rest here in this class, you can go ahead and do that. Or go ahead and bring the palms of your feet together. Maybe it helps to bring some blocks underneath your knees and then just hinge over your hips. Just preparing those hips for birth. Or maybe you just gave birth, as long as you're clear to do yoga. Remember that you want to wait 6 weeks. So we're just doing this like prenatal and postnatal combo here. And something is, if you did give birth and you've waited the 6 weeks, it's really good to get into the inner thighs, the inner legs. So if you want to extend your legs out a little wider, maybe hinge over your hips, you can go ahead and do that, flexing your feet. Maybe just kind of play with this shape. You want to find a forward fold. Something I loved right after, well, not right after I gave birth, I waited a few weeks to do at least some yoga, some restorative yoga. And then I got more into it as I was cleared from my doctor, is I love putting my knee or my elbow into like right in my leg here and just kind of rock side to side, just getting that kind of side body a little bit right here, like right there's little love handle areas. Oh, that just feels so good. So if you just want to kind of find that, or just kind of play with whatever shape feels good to you, I'm gonna invite you to do so. See if you can soften a little bit more here. Gently come back to center wherever you are. Reach the crown of your head high. Roll the shoulders down your back. And just come into a seated position. If you need to extend your legs out long, you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and interlace your palms behind you. Open up your heart. Really breathe into your shoulders. This is really good if you're pregnant. You just kind of need to open up that chest. This is also really good if you are just coming back to yoga after having a baby, especially if you're breastfeeding. So this is something I really love doing, since I'm currently breastfeeding and my shoulders and my upper back. So if you need to just kind of really get into that, you can go ahead and do that. You can stay there, or maybe bring your chin a little bit pointed towards the sky, bringing your right ear towards your shoulder. If it helps to extend your left arm out long, you can go ahead and do that. Just getting into that neck. Breathing into that neck space, then maybe bringing your chin to your chest, and just make your way over to the other side. I'm going to encourage you, mama, if you have had a baby recently, or if you're pregnant and you want to try a prenatal massage, that is amazing. I highly recommend getting a massage after birth. I just had one last week and it was marvelous. I have lots of knots in my shoulders. So see if you can just kind of roll your neck back and forth. Breathing in and out. Maybe you want to reach your palms up towards the sky, open up, and then maybe find those angel wings. Oh, I just love this. Spread your fingers, peel your heart towards the sky. Big breath in. And then exhale, reach your palms up towards the sky. Maybe even hinge over your hips, just taking that pause. Really getting into those hips just a bit. Gently rise. So beautiful. And then make your way onto your back. Removing your blocks out of the way. maybe laying on your bolster. Remember, if you're 20 to 26 weeks and it's too uncomfortable for you to lay on your back, then you can just go right ahead and lay on your side. If you want to go right into Shavasana, you can come onto your left side, remember. Bring a bolster underneath your head and maybe a block in between or a pillow in between your legs, and just go ahead and find rest. If you want to add a little bit more before we find our final resting pose, maybe find your figure four. If you want a little bit more, interlace your palms, holding onto your left thigh, flexing your feet. And refinding that other side. Remember, you can pause in any shape for as long as it feels comfortable to you. Another great shape that's good for post or prenatal is legs up a wall. So if you want to go ahead and find that before your final resting pose, you can do that. You can even elevate yourself a little bit. So what we did with our blocks, you can set that up next to the wall and then just go ahead and reach your legs up a wall. So you're going to be a little elevated here, or you can just lay yourself on the floor. So I give a lot of room for modification, variation, those kinds of things, especially in these classes, because you want to make sure you're listening to the body always, but especially when you're pregnant or you just had a baby, because we're being really gentle and kind. So hearing these words from Mark 5, verse 34, it says, "Then Jesus said to her, 'Daughter, because you dared to believe, your faith has healed you. Go with peace in your heart and be free from your suffering.'" Bringing a big breath in and a gentle sigh out. Whenever you're ready, gently make your way to your final resting pose, however that looks like for you. He heals the wounds of every shattered heart. He sets his stars in place and calling them by their names. How great is our God! There's absolutely nothing his power can accomplish, and he has an infinite understanding of everything. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm going to invite you, if you have more time, especially if your little one is sleeping, if you have a little one here yet, especially if it's quiet in your home, I'm going to invite you just to end your recording here and just take as much time as you need with God. If not, gently come your way to your seat with your hands on your heart. And let's end with this prayer from our book, Peace. Father, thank you for not sending us away to deal with the anxiety we face on our own. Thank you for being the God who heals. Thank you for knowing every step we will take and every strategy we will use to overcome anxiety. Our healing has made possible the work of your Son on the cross. Our hope is found in him. No matter what steps you invite us to take, help us to remember that you are the one who heals us. You are the one who brings us life. You are the one who has a plan for us. We ask that you'd help us get to the root of the anxiety we face. Help us find the right doctors, counselors, and resources to aid us on our healing journey. Help us to address all aspects of anxiety, including both spiritual and physical. You are the God of peace, and we thank you for each miraculous moment when we overcome fear. Ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any other questions or support that you would like to share, please feel free to reach out. And this book is really good if you're struggling with any anxieties or fears about the future, because as mamas, we can constantly worry. But let me just remind you that they aren't our children, they are God's children. I hope you have a great day, and obviously namaste. I forgot about my namaste. I will see you very soon, and I look forward to the next time we do yoga together.